Welcome back to Slop So Righteous, it even absolves you of your cringy past sins. Today we're going to be talking about Johnny Somali. Now I've been watching Slop videos on him for, well, forever, like over a year, and honestly could barely ever finish the videos because everything he did was just so cringy and weird. But basically, if you don't know the story, he's a kick streamer and went to countries like Japan and Korea and was just actually being a public menace. I mean, bro was literally getting beat up and he did not care. That's for sure a dangerous human being. Like, most people would have stopped after the first hit, but honestly, I kind of think he likes it.
What do you want to talk about? Swing or not? Like, nigga gonna come up to me, bro, why you being racist to other people in other countries? For money. For clout.
I've said it many times. I don't give a fuck. I have no morals. I'm a fucking sociopath. I don't give a fuck. Put this in your next YouTube documentary. I don't give a fuck.
Our Korean niggas is weak as
Swing on that nigga right now. I was waiting for him to swing on Johnny. I was waiting, bro. I was waiting for him to
We're ready,
do it.
Reddit, Twitter,
I
come.
wanted to stop on this.
Hank is here tonight. We're not scared.
Go to Johnny's.
I was waiting, bro. I was waiting for him to
Whoa!
Shut up! Shut up!
What's up?
I was waiting, bro. I was waiting for him to
Fuck out of you.
Swing or not?
He's been charged with a bunch of stuff in Korea and has not been taking it seriously, but he actually just went to court, and it was pretty interesting to say the least. He's looking at possibly facing 10 years in prison. Here's a picture of the charges and the ones he has pled guilty to, and could still get more in the future. I want to show you some of popular YouTubers' legal mindset, because him and big YouTuber Otozi also went and saw the trial in person, which is to me just the funniest thing, because you know they were just laughing at Johnny the whole time.
Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali, had a disastrous day in court today where pretty much everything that could go wrong went wrong. Ramsey Somali was late by a few minutes. Hank and Ramsey's lawyer went to find him. So Hank went out to find him. Ramsey's lawyer went out to find him. Eventually, they did find him. When he came in, he was dressed in a suit. He had a nice buzz cut. You're going to see photos of him later, but he looked gaunt. He looked thin. He had deep circles around his eyes. It was described that his deep circles had circles. He also was resigned. He did not make faces. He didn't look around at the crowd. He didn't stick out his tongue like he did in previous engagements, previous court dates. So he had a huge attitude shift going forward into this day.
So as you heard, he was late, which I'm not surprised. I'm pretty sure he was late to the last court meeting as well, because he was getting really drunk and streaming it all the night before, which kind of leads me into my next thing, how he's saying he looks tired and bad. A lot of his videos, he is drunk as fuck, so he's probably a pretty bad alcoholic. You know, when you drink a lot, you don't sleep good, and, you know, it's just terrible for your body. But not nearly as smiley and cocky, which is just pretty fucking hilarious. I'm sure he's more locked in this time and probably way more scared.
Did Hank lie? Now, Hank, in an interview recently with K-Town Social Club, said that Ramsey is no longer living with him. And Ramsey gave Hank's address in court. So either Hank was lying on that interview or it's contempt of court. It's contempt of court. That's an additional crime that he's committing there. Or Hank is lying. I'm not going to say which way it is. You guys can kind of make up your mind. Most people seem to think it's probably a lie to throw them off the trail, but who knows? We don't really know. Hank also appeared to be distancing himself from Somali in a recent interview, but he sat in the front row. He went to find Ramsey and he escorted him home with the lawyer in a cab. So he essentially was right there winging him the entire time.
I would feel bad for Hank, but honestly, he did this to himself. He got cut off from his family, lost all his money for a fucking troll.
So right off the bat, the first thing in the hearing was the judge asked Ramsey's lawyer for any specific evidence on the crimes Ramsey pled not guilty to. So specifically the deepfakes. We're talking about the deepfakes for which he pled not guilty. So the judge says, hey, what evidence do you have? And the lawyer was completely flustered by this. He could not answer. He said, hey, we submitted that to the court, so, you should have that, right? But he couldn't, when pressed, give any of the information, any defense at all. He couldn't remember any specifics. That's not good. Now, what may have happened here is Johnny may have had this packet of information, perhaps the dossier prepared by his Discord, which was submitted to the judge or submitted to the court. However, didn't really memorize that, didn't really go through it. Maybe he's busy, maybe didn't have time, maybe didn't understand it. Who knows? We don't know what's going on, but that was a very bad look and did not look good in court.
Now imagine being handed Johnny Somali's case with all the evidence already, and then your client is going out on a daily basis, stacking up new charges, just making the situation a lot worse. I mean, I feel bad for the lawyer, really. And the fact that he didn't get a single win really was a wake-up call probably for Johnny, but I don't even think in prison he's still gonna know what he did wrong. Like, he's definitely just so fucking stupid. Here's a little bit what happened between the courtroom, between the prosecutor and the judge and whatnot.
Ramsey's lawyer tried to complain about late notice and procedure, and he tried to kind of make it sound like the prosecution was doing something bad or untoward or unofficial or breaking the rules. And now the prosecutor, and I have been in this courtroom, I've seen the prosecutor. The prosecutor looks like a very nice, mild-mannered, calm guy. I watched him an entire day in court cases. I sat in another day and watched like 6-7 trials. This guy never was aggressive. He never got angry, was very calm and collected, very professional. But all the reports from the courtroom today, and I went over several after the stream, I asked several sources, I said, hey, was this what happened? And they said, yes. He aggressively countered Ramsey's lawyer in a way in which is not typical for a prosecutor to normally do. Pretty much, Ramsey's lawyer was saying, hey, you're doing something wrong. And the prosecutor got up and said, oh, hell no. And excuse my language, or I'll put some in the swear jar, but said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. All notice we gave was proper. Everything was legal. We followed the procedure. And the judge quickly stepped in and took the side of the prosecutor, not Ramsey's lawyer, overruled Ramsey's lawyer and said verbatim, this is not an issue, move on. So absolute procedural L, massive procedural L for Ramsey's lawyer.
It was cooked, like so cooked. I mean, I know that the lawyer is trying, but if he's already trying these little tactics of being like, no, it's your fault, or just dumb shit like that, honestly, that just shows me that the lawyer doesn't have much. He's grasping for straws, and I just wonder if he's paying this lawyer because, like, all the money he got from all these weird-ass viewers wanting to essentially hate watch, donating to make him do dumb shit, like, it's all gonna be gone, and it's not even worth it, and now he's probably going to prison. He also got a new charge I want to show you all as well.
Going beyond that, there was the new charge, the charge of the additional obstruction. That's once again, the fourth obstruction charge that was coming up. It was revealed that this new charge, was for conduct on 2 Seoul buses on September 27, 2024. Now, this was for, they stated stuff like playing loud music and TTS and playing North Korean propaganda. Now, mind you, he is not charged under the terrorism statute, under the terrorism law. He's still charged under obstruction of business. So it doesn't change the nature and make him guilty of terrorism. However, it does conclude that they were factoring in the fact that he was playing North Korean propaganda. They know, and they were listening to that. It says that disturbed the passengers, it disrupted operations, and ultimately for a obstruction of business, if you disturb normal operations of business, you are guilty. So therefore, Ramsey knew he was dead to rights on this and pled guilty to this new obstruction charge. So once again, another guilty in the bucket.
I mean, this to us is beautiful. The justice system actually doing good for once, but I'm sure Johnny's drinking heavy so he can cope better, but Johnny better go ahead and get some good drinks in because by the end of the year, he might be in prison. Now, I don't know how Korean prisons are, probably better than American, but man, he's not going to get along with anyone, and honestly, they'll probably just beat the shit out of him just for fun. Now, I know he also got the Lotte charge, or Lotte, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, which is a South Korean amusement park, and Legal Mindset updated the charges and also talks about the deep fake disaster.
4 guilty for the obstruction of business, guilty on the Minor Crimes Act and not guilty on the deepfake. These are his pleas. Of course, he's going to have to fight this at the next trial, and I do believe there's sufficient evidence to find him guilty on the deepfake counts. We're going to talk about that next. Kind of got two obstructions for the bus, one for Lotte World and one for 7-Eleven. This is not just about a cup of noodles, folks. This is much more than a cup of noodles. The deepfake was a disaster for Johnny's defense. They pretty much confessed. Let's talk about this. So Ramsey's lawyer argued that Ramsey doesn't know how to make a deepfake, that he is incompetent to make a deepfake, which, look, we all know that's BS. It takes 2 seconds to make a deepfake. There's AI, there's other mechanisms. Anybody can make a deepfake, and Ramsey is certainly capable of it. But beyond that, that's what the lawyer said makes him innocent. The lawyer said he didn't make it, so because he didn't make it, he's innocent. But the prosecutor immediately countered, once again, getting up there, getting in their face. Great job by the prosecution. Amazing performance. Said, so you deny making the deepfake, but you admit, you confess to distributing, which is publishing, the deepfake.
Honestly, it's Friday. I'm having a couple drinks watching all this stuff, and I could shed a tear at this point. Watching all these dumbass streamers that do terrible shit and nothing ever happens, but then a light from South Korea shined, and now a dumbass is rightfully gonna get punished for his dumbass behavior. It's beautiful when you think about it. I mean, he's fucked, bro. Like, they don't care if you were drunk while you were doing this deep fake propaganda thing. I mean, bro, I've never even wanted to do that when I drink. Like, the most I want to do is eat, sleep, or, I don't know, maybe beat off. I want to show you how bad Johnny's team lost in court.
So Ramsey's lawyer was fighting tooth and nail not to allow the deepfake witnesses. He did not want those deepfake witnesses to come in. That would have been disastrous for him in his mind. Well, the prosecution argued that since Ramsey admits distribution but denies production, the witnesses have to be allowed. They must be allowed for arguing back about the production. The judge sided immediately with the prosecution and allowed the witnesses. Said, no. Now Ramsey's lawyer said, okay, I want extended cross-examination. Instead of the standard 15-minute cross-examination of each witness, I want 25 minutes. The judge denied Ramsey's request. Guys, this is massive. In Korean procedure, in discussing this with lawyers and people experienced with the process, this almost never happens. Typically, if they request this, they give it. This is the judge telling Ramsey to cope and seethe. It's saying, we don't think your defense has enough. It's not worth it to give you 25 minutes. It's not going to prove anything.
Like I said, the lawyer is fighting so hard to get any kind of tactic that would help them at all, but he's so fucked. The judge, I think, is seeing this as an open shut kind of case and is definitely going to teach him a lesson, and for any other future people that want to come to South Korea and do this kind of bullshit. And I also want to show you the post-trial and kind of what Johnny's looking like, and it's definitely just a big difference from the last court date.
We had a little action outside the court. Here's Ramsey leaving the court with his buzz cut, his new buzz cut, the suit. You see him there with Hank there. Definitely a different look today. So Ramsey quickly left with Hank and his lawyer. They did not interact with media or streamers. They avoided a kick streamer, Paul Risen, who attempted to interview them. And the streamer appeared to be anti-Somali generally, so maybe Somali knew that. But what I'm saying is he wasn't interacting. In the past, he was cursing at people. He was taking interviews. He was saying stuff. And he was smiling, smirking. Now he quickly ran to get in the cab. He wants nothing to do with the media. It reflects that I think he realizes this is serious and he's about to find out. He realized this was absolutely a massive loss for him today.
Yeah, Johnny knows he's done. He's being a scared little boy, running back with his boyfriend Hank. I mean, what is Hank going to do when Johnny goes to prison? Is he going to wait for him like a good boyfriend? I don't know, but this court date was definitely needed, and I can't wait for the October one. Like I said, I'm hoping by the end of the year, he's in prison. You really can only fuck around so long before you find out. Now, I got one last clip to show you from the popular YouTuber Atozy. He's actually how I even found out about all this forever ago, and he was there at the trial as well.
Okay, so we just got out of Johnny Somali's third court day here in the beautiful yet rainy Seoul, South Korea. And it's safe to say, last time things went terrible for him. Today, things went awful, and honestly, kind of embarrassing because a lot of the stuff they did not make sense whatsoever. Clearly, he was way more locked in. He realized how much he screwed up now, it seems like, and he's realizing, uh-oh, I might be stuck in prison for a long time. So today, at least, he was very serious. So, currently he's facing 8 counts, or 8 charges, and 4 of which are obstruction of...
You know it's bad when the guy that has been hating on you for a year is starting to feel kind of bad that you're going to jail. I mean, the fact that he flew out there for this is a peak thing to do with your human free will. I respect that so much, honestly. But it's a great day for the internet, and I can't wait to see the rest of the trial in October. If anything else happens in between, well, I guess I'll cover it. That's all the slop I got for you today. Bye.